Greetings, fanboys. This is Brandon, and I have something really interesting for you today. This is a lost episode of Fanboys Forever. Back in the summer of 2012, we shot all kinds of crazy reviews. We were shooting 10 reviews a week, and we were only editing maybe 2 or 3, at most 4 reviews a week. So we have a lot of footage still laying on the cutting room floor, and we had thought, you know, we don't necessarily have to use that, or it's something people don't need to see. Long story short, we've decided it would be a shame to let all that footage go to waste. So, even though these aren't contemporary toys, and it's not going to give you a look at something brand new, and in some cases these aren't even items that are on the shelf anymore, we just think it's something you get a big kick out of, and maybe if there's an older item that you're thinking about going back and picking up, this might sway your opinion one way or the other. So please enjoy this very special, never-before-seen lost episode of Fanboys Forever.
Hello, this is Jared.
And this is Brandon.
Oh my god. Anyway, this is Fanboys Forever.
Yes, and you've made a great choice.
Yes.
You're going to see a review of the 6-inch Bane action figure from the Dark Knight Rises Movie Masters line.
The 6-inch T-Hards action figure.
Yes,
T-Hards. 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 Tom Hardy, for all those who don't get the joke. You were out of the loop. You were out of the loop. But yes, Bane here. You know, what can we say? This was one of those great surprises when I saw the preview images for the figures, where I was just like, wow. Mattel really attempted to step up this time around. You know, this is so much better than the Joker figure that we got in the 2008 Dark Knight line.
Leaps and bounds better, really.
I mean, you look at this, and it restores your faith in Mattel, because there is so much controversy with them, you know, so often. And you look at this, and you see they are really dedicated to making a good product. There's a great sculpt here. There's a very sufficient articulation.
It's a brand new sculpt. There's no reuse whatsoever.
And so there's just so many good things to say about this figure. I can't wait to get right into it. So let's
take a closer look.
Yes.
Okay, first we're going to take a look at the fantastic sculpt for the Bane Movie Master. He's completely new, a ground-up tool. There are no parts reused from any other Movie Masters or any other line. And there's a really good amount of detail. You see there's a whole lot of intricacy to the buckles and fasteners all over his vest. There are a lot of pockets and knee pads and straps molded on to the pants and to the boots. And then there's a lot of sculpted detail on the rubberized coat. You see the buttons on the inside and the fasteners on the other side. And then there's pockets there and fastening straps at the wrists. The mask is excellent. We're really big fans of this design, so we were really glad to see it get such a great treatment with a mass market figure. You just see there's all sorts of no details left to the imagination. Every one of the hoses and clasps and little fasteners are sculpted very well all the way around too. It's not just the front. He's really the strongest sculpt out of all the Movie Masters so far.
Alright, let's talk about paint applications, guys. As we can see, Bane actually has a huge amount of diversity in terms of what sorts of paint applications are on this figure. Much more diversity than any of the other Movie Masters to date. And of course, we see that we start out with the boots here. They're sort of this darker black color with painted buckles on the boots. We work up to the pants, which actually have the least amount of paint application. They're just made of what looks like a gray plastic with no real wash or detail. I think it probably could have used some more paint wash here, but that's okay. And we get to the belts there, which are washed with this kind of dirty looking brown. And we have these really nice looking brush strokes on the actual vest itself, and all the straps and the buckles are painted individually. The interior of the coat has this wonderful effect that works with the sculpt to make it look like a sheep's wool kind of interior. The buttons are painted. The sleeves are just, you know, brown plastic. On the back, we've just got a regular brown look going on for the back of the coat. And finally, on the head, we have all sorts of wonderful little applications. So you can see all the little silver places on the mask are painted. All these little blue dots up here, which seem to be some sort of technology used for the mask itself. The hose on the side is painted. And the back of it is pretty much just black with a few brush strokes. Now, as for the face itself, I'm going to say that I think they could have done a little bit better in terms of Tom Hardy's likeness. I can't really tell that it's Tom Hardy, but to their advantage, they didn't have much to work with here since it's just the eyes. But what is here is the paint is extremely clean. The eyebrows may be just a little too thick, I think. But on the side, my favorite paint application on the figure is this kind of shaved head sort of application. Do you see how it turns sort of this gray? It really looks great. As you can see, the front of the head is just skin color, but then it has that kind of gray look like a guy shaved his head. And so it really adds a great amount of authenticity to the figure.
One of the only arenas where Bane suffers a little bit is in articulation. He has pretty much the basic Movie Master articulation. He has hinges and swivels at the shoulders. He has a joint at the elbow and a cut at the wrist. There's no cut at the bicep, unfortunately. So your movement is just a little bit hindered as far as the head will only go side to side, unfortunately. Will not really move up and down at all. Just if you're going to have him look down, he's got a crunch, so that's very unfortunate.
You know, my problem with it, Brandon, is that it appears as if he's looking down just a little bit, and I actually need him to look up a little more. Of course, Bane is supposed to be a pretty big guy, so it would make more sense he's looking down a little bit more, but Mattel really should have had a hinge in there to make sure his head could go up and down.
Yeah, definitely. The ab crunch is a little limited, too. He can go down quite a ways, but he can't really go back at all too much. That is in part due to the coat piece that's over his chest, so that's unfortunate as well. He has a cut at the waist, and he has hinges and cuts at the hips. He has a cut at the top of the knee, joint at the knee, and a joint at the ankle too. So you can get an okay range of poses with him, but there's just a couple of little extra pieces that would have made him tremendously more posable, so it's very unfortunate. But of course, he is he's a ground-up sculpt, completely new, so sometimes they just can't tool that much articulation into a completely new sculpt. As far as accessories go, he doesn't really come with any accessories, save for the fact that his coat will come off.
Now, guys, be careful when you do this, because I'm not 100% on removing this coat all the time, but it's kind of worth it. As you can see in a minute, this is one of those rare cases where a figure that wears a coat piece, it actually works when you take it off and it doesn't look awkward at all. As you can see, under the coat, Bane has the brown sleeves. Now, a lot of the scenes we've seen being filmed, like in Wall Street and things like that, where they film the crowd sequences, this is the costume Bane is wearing. He's got brown baggy sleeves with the vest on over it. And the one big difference is that you can't see his whole gauntlet here. The sleeve isn't up to reveal the gauntlet. Instead, it's as if the coat were down. But I don't really care. It looks really nice this way, and you can get some great fighting poses out of Bane in this particular look.
And it allows you to move the ab crunch back and forth a little bit more than if you weren't wearing the coat. Additionally, Bane includes a piece of the Collect and Connect bat signal, Bill the bat signal. He comes with the cradle piece that the drum of the light snaps into and plugs into the base. Maybe the most integral part of the construction, so if you're going to put it together, you absolutely have to buy Bane. I hope you would anyway, because he's the main villain of the film, but they do right by us by giving us such an important piece with him.
So that was the Dark Knight Rises Movie Masters Bane action figure. And we talked about how wonderful the sculpt was.
How great the paint is.
And how sufficient the articulation is. So with all that in mind, I would say that Bane is at least a 4.5 out of 5-star figure.
Definitely, I would agree.
And like we said, the only thing that really holds him back is the lack of cuts at the arms. Maybe a few more points of articulation would have been nice. More head movement, you know. But other than that, really, he's a great little figure. If you can get him at Kmart for $12.99, you'll be doing a whole lot better.
Definitely. But if you can find him anywhere else, the $16, $17 price tag is completely fair. I'd say he's definitely worth that, too.
So go ahead and get Bane. You know you want to complete your bat signal. And there's no better excuse to do it.
Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you. Subscribe. Please.
You know, I believe I have had just about enough of you.
Or I'll be going.